Hi, Gunnar here. Today is the 16th of August. No, August, what am I saying? It's the 16th of July. And yeah, I've got a booking for October. And yeah, apparently the flights are going to start again on October 1st at the latest, the international flights. And if the situation gets better before that, maybe earlier. But there are signs of international flights starting again. The Emirates have started, and so it seems like there will be policies in place for international flights fairly soon, which is very much needed. And meanwhile, here in Peru, of course, there are lots of protocols being put into place so that people can visit safely. And as I've mentioned before in this podcast, also in these vlogs, is that it's not really the travelers that is the main problem because they go through so rigorous controls on the way when they get here, but rather the sort of the mixing of people that live very densely in their own communities. That seems to be a major problem. But anyway, we'll see what happens. But if you are interested in Central Peru in October, the trip starts on October 6th, and you can find it already on the on the on the calendar on Colibri Expeditions page, right? So if you check out the calendar for October 6th, you will find a tour there. It's a 16-day tour, and it pretty much, well, it's very similar to BirdQuest's tour. And how do I know that? Well, I actually put together the itinerary that BirdQuest is running. We don't run the BirdQuest tours anymore, but that is pretty much my itinerary that they are running. I've since improved it, so now we've cut a little bit of the driving, and we found more efficient areas closer to La Merced for looking for some of the birds that are usually found in Oxapampa. So we got sites for cloud forest screech owl and creamy-bellied ant wren, etc. So those can be seen there. And also, as you know, we are running the lodge at the Apaya, the community lodge on the Satipo Road. We are doing that project together with the community, and so it makes sense to go directly through us and do this tour for less money and more efficiency and less time. Right. Yeah, that was that. I hope that you guys are okay wherever you are. I've come into a bit of a blues today. Actually, the weather here in Lima is just horrible. I have a hard time to get things to, to work out and get enough money to pay the bills at the end of the month. And so it's really very much appreciated for those people that already are thinking of tours, and maybe not even this year, maybe next year and so forth. Start planning for that and start um, putting down deposits so we can sort of just survive until everything sort of comes on again and get activated again with the trips and so forth. Other news regarding trips, I've uploaded the East Australia Iconic Bird Families program now to Seven Wonders Birding website. Now, this tour is quite different from other Seven Wonders birding tours because it is quite intense. It's intense birding for 5 days, and I would certainly not say that it's a good tour for new birders in the sense that it's a lot of 24/7 birding. On the other hand, it's very short, And on the other hand, you do see some really spectacular birds in Australia, and we're trying to, to get most of those birds that you sort of associate with Australia, like the cockatoos, the colorful parrots, the black swans, the lyrebirds, the uh, southern cassowary, riflebirds, etc., etc., all the honey eaters. And so it looks like a really, really solid itinerary. You should check it out. Before the itinerary starts, we also have a day on the Barrier Reef and an introductory day in Cairns for those that wants to do a 2-day pre-tour. So very, very nice looking tour indeed. And you can combine that, if you have more time, you combine that with our Tasmania program, which will start straight after the 5 days. The tour starts in Cairns and goes through Cairns, Brisbane, and Sydney. And then when we end in Sydney, you have the choice of ending the tour there, or you can continue with us to Hobart and Tasmania, do Tasmania for 4 days and 1 day in Melbourne. Then I'm also setting up a Twitch for Plains Wanderer after the Tasmania Melbourne trip for 2 days. So that's pretty much our well, all in all, it's 14 days in Australia that you could sort of check out on Seven Wonders Birding. Right. What else has happened? Yeah, I got an article in the Rumbos magazine, rumbosdelperu.org, I think is the, no, .com is the website, rumbosdelperu.com. And there's an article there about our, well, my free guiding in the parks, well, whenever there are someone wanting to have a free guiding for an hour and a half in the nearest park, I'll do that without any cost. So I was out today in the park about 5 kilometers from here in San Borja district, and we had, well, 15 species in about an hour or so. One of the best birds was actually a hooded siskin, which is the first time I think I see that within urban Lima. I know that there was records from another area in San Borja called Pentagonito, where we had an excursion the other day, about 3-4 weeks ago. But now we've found a pair here also in this park, and I think that's the first time. I know that Antonio, who lives there near that park, has not seen it there before. So it was a new bird for the area. So that was pretty nice. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah. Remember I told you last week that my car had broken down. It was actually nothing serious. The battery had just come loose, and that's why it didn't really want to start. It was sort of, it didn't make a good contact, so there wasn't enough current coming through from the battery to the starter. I should have checked that. But that was last Saturday, so it saved me quite a bit of time and money, actually, to go and get the battery charged. My birthday is coming up next weekend on this 25th. And maybe that's why I'm so bluesy today. I don't know. Maybe it's a combination: bad weather, bad economy, and getting older. It's not a good combination. I'm turning 60 on the 25th, and I'm thinking. Actually, I'm looking forward to my birthday, but then, and I'm looking forward also to people wishing me happy birthday and so forth. But I always feel like there's this kind of well, I have to answer everyone that says happy birthday on my Facebook page, and I now got close to 5,000 friends. Well, Facebook's friends anyway, on Facebook, and it can amount to quite a lot of thank you. So I've been thinking maybe I should try to use this opportunity to do that, do an update on the fundraiser. I think we should have also more. We should be more information when we can actually go down to the Satipo Road and start the project there. I'm looking very much forward to that. And obviously, that is also part of the Central Peru tour. So those of you that want to sign up to the 16-day Central Peru, you will also be supporting this project, of course. Yeah. And hopefully by then also we'll have the hummingbird feeders in place and everything a little bit nicer. And so my plan for the area is to place our local guide there until the sort of the tourism starts up. And but we need funding for that. And he's going to put in walls. He's also a carpenter. So that's Juan I'm talking about, Juan Hulka. He's a carpenter. So he can put in walls, separating walls in the building. So giving a little bit more privacy. We can prepare a kitchen area, and we'll also prepare feeders. And Juan has a lot of experience of actually making feeders. He's actually doing that now in his house. He's still up in Chiclayo, but he lives very close to Tinajones, which is an area just before you get to Chapari. And he's one of the local Chapari guides, right? That's where we recruited him from. And so he's he's in confinement there, studying English online and being doing his social distancing and putting up his feeders. And so he's getting pretty handy at that. So he will be a great resource to have there on the Satipo Road for well, we don't know how long, but maybe a month or so. Take a lot of photographs and pretty much get the place going. So fundraising for that seems like a very good idea. So I will post something maybe this weekend or the beginning of next week. I will let you know so you can help out any way you can, and that will sort of give both Juan and hopefully also our driver Manuel some incentive to keep on working with the birds. Yeah. And we will also try to do like a pilot trip down there. We'll do the pilot trip anyway, but we'll also offer that as an excursion for Limeños, people in Lima that want to know a little bit more about the cloud forest birds. And I don't think the social distancing there shouldn't be a problem because it's a very isolated area. Now, one thing that may be a problem when you get to these local communities is that they are scared shit. Sorry, my language, but they're really very afraid of getting anyone from coming from another area to their area and spreading COVID, and rightly so, right? Having said that, though, and whether we can, make that come across to the community there that, while we are separated, there is no problem, right? There is we're keeping separated from the community. The idea is not to have a lot of interaction with the community, but rather just supplying some funds for the future, right? So that is sort of part of the idea. And I think it's not going to be socializing. We're not going to have any parties, etc. So it shouldn't really be a problem. But obviously, the communities may not see it the same way. So it's quite important that we actually get down there, say in August, September, in beforehand, and sort of prepare the community that, hey, it's not a problem that we're coming here with a bird watching group. We will stay away from you. You will make some money, but we will stay away. So that is must seem like a good idea anyway. But we'll see how it goes. It will be very important to do those pilot trips anyway before we venture down there on a more serious trip with a lot of foreigners. So yeah, what else? Running. I've been starting a little bit more this week. I'm right now at, I think, some 50 kilometers the last 7 days. So been sort of coming up from about 40 last week. And I want to get up to about 80 kilometers maybe for this full week, and see how things are progressing. I've I'm still running slow pace. I'm still following the methodology, by Maffetone. The idea is to not let your heart rate go up to over the what he calls the aerobic threshold. So where you are actually the sort of the pace where you are not using any glycogen at all, hardly, but just burning fat. Now the fat burning part is of course nice per se to lose weight, but the whole idea is that you learn to become more efficient, so you can run eventually faster at the same heart rate with less effort. With the same effort, actually, at the same heart rate, you keep the heart rate very low, but you will eventually be more efficient as you run, and you will run faster on fat. That's the whole idea. And obviously, fat resources we all have plenty of those. So during a race, or during a long race like a marathon or even an ultra marathon, burning fat is the key to the success there. Mainly to get around, but if you also can get more efficient burning fat at higher speeds, well, then you have more glycogen also to have you through at the high speed all through the race until the very, very, very end. So that's the idea. I'm not doing any speed work whatsoever. I just want to get those kilometers up, the mileage up, to be in shape. Maybe there will be a marathon in November, December, who knows. All the big ones are of course closed, so I'm hoping for a smaller one on Hawaii on December 15, but we'll see. I need to make some money to be able to get there, but that's a different story. But hopefully by, say, August, September, October, things are more clear when we'll be able to start doing tours here in Peru, and when our international tours will start again, and there will be a stream of income. But as I said, keep on booking, everyone that has been doing that and have been writing to me about their article in the Rumbos magazine. Rumbos del Peru. Hold on here a second. Right, so I lost my screen. I couldn't see you guys. So so check out if you the programs on the colibriexpeditions.com and the sevenwondersbirding.com. There are tours coming up, and another thing I've been thinking about this week, also coming back to my running, I've been entertaining the idea, maybe trying to offer coaching service. So I actually sent out a message on one of the Facebook groups. I didn't get any replies though, but I think I could, I've been doing this for quite some time now and have some methodology that I could teach to people also, and they can see that it works, so we'll see about that. If anyone here in Peru is listening to this and the expats wanting to start running and trying to get better at running, send me a message and I'll help you out. Anyway, that was pretty much all for today, and I'll see you here next time. Have a good one. Good night.